Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino listener by me, so let's get into it. The flickering glow of the dimly lit tavern cast long shadows across the room, the hum of conversation and occasional laughter blending into a warm, hazy atmosphere. You sat at the table near the corner, the empty glasses in front of you standing as silent witnesses to the fact that you've evidently had far too much to drink. Arlecchino just came in because she was informed you were inside and you were drinking too much. And right now, she knew she had to get you home. But perhaps she would see what was bothering you. She had a bit of time, and it was not a waste to know what was going on in your mind. And so she sat in her chair across from you, her arms crossed, and her eyes studying you. She could only observe your tipsy behavior. "Another, please," you called out, your voice loud and cheerful as you waved down the bartender. "I think that's enough. You're already well past your limit," Arlecchino interjected, her tone calm, yet firm. "Oh, come on. One more won't hurt," giving her what you thought was an endearing pout. "It will. You're barely a pride," she countered, and you giggled slightly, leaning forward with a grin. "You're so serious all the time, Arlie. You should relax more." Her lips twitched, the faintest turn to a smirk threatening to appear, but she held it back. "I think one of us has to stay sober tonight," she replied, her tone dry. "Well, that's boring. It's definitely not me," he teased, scooting your chair closer to hers. The room spun slightly as you moved, but you ignored that, determined to bridge the gap between you. "You're always so cool and calm, but nobody knows you like I do." "Oh? And what do you know?" She tilted her head, a little amused. "That you are secretly a softie," he whispered, poking her arm with your finger. "You pretend to be all scary, but you care so much. Like, so much." Her expression softened, though she rolled her eyes. "You're drunk." "And you're beautiful. Did I ever tell you that? I should say it more." "You say plenty when you're drunk," she muttered, but her voice lacked its usual edge. In fact, there was even a hint of fondness in her tone. And before she could pull away, you scooted even closer, nearly toppling onto her lap. "Arlie," you whined, resting your head on her shoulder. "Why are you so far away? I'm cold." She stiffened, her hands hovering uncertainly in the air, as if she didn't know whether to push you away, or steady you, or hold you close. And not to mention, you were in public. She didn't want others to see you like this. "You're not cold. You're merely being clingy," you hummed in contentment, ignoring her words, as you snuggled closer like it was the most natural thing in the world. "You're warm. I like you." Her cheeks flushed faintly, though her expression remained composed. "You're impossible, Wyan, and you're going to regret this in the morning," she said, though her hands finally settled on your arms, keeping you steady. "Nuh-uh. I'm not regretting anything I do right now," you argued, your voice muffled against her shoulder. "You're comfy, and I'm staying right here." The sound of approaching footsteps caught her attention, and she glanced up to see the bartender heading toward your table. Arlecchino raised a hand, her cool, commanding presence instantly returning. "No more drinks, all right?" she told him, her tone leaving no room for argument, and the bartender hesitated but nodded, retreating without a word. After all, you could never argue with the naive. "Party pooper," he mumbled, lifting your head just enough to give her a half-hearted glare. And Arlecchino sighed, brushing a strand of hair out of your face with surprising gentleness. "Well, let's get you home before you embarrass yourself any further." He whined, though you didn't resist, as she stood and helped you to your feet. The room tilted dangerously, and you clung to her arm for balance, giggling. "See? I need you to hold me up. You're my hero, Arlie." "Hero? Huh. Let's hope you remember that tomorrow," she echoed, her voice carrying a rare hint of amusement as she wrapped an arm around your waist to steady you. And as she guided you out of the tavern, you leaned heavily against her, your words becoming softer, more heartfelt. "I really mean it, you know. You take care of me. You're always there when I need you. I love you, Arlie." Her steps faltered for a moment, and she glanced down at you, her eyes unreadable. "You're really drunk." "And I love you, drunk or not." She didn't respond immediately, instead tightening her grip on you as she continued to lead you toward home. And as she sat you down on the couch, her usual demeanor was replaced by a quiet intensity. Perhaps it was the words you told her, and the way she was thinking about them. "You're going to feel awful in the morning," she said, kneeling in front of you to remove your shoes. "Worth it. It was nice." Arlecchino paused, her hands stilling for a moment before she resumed her task. "Get some rest," she said simply, standing and grabbing a blanket to drape over you. And as you drifted off, you heard her murmur something under her breath, too soft for you to fully catch. But the faint brush of her lips against your forehead spoke volumes, even if you would remember it come morning.